Okay, we're in Loveland, Colorado. This is in front of Rick and Marlene's house. And what kind of trees we got here, Rick?
That's a purple ash tree.
Purple ash tree.
Purple autumn ash.
And as you can tell, Rick does a little bit of maintenance in his yard. Gee whiz.
Oh, yes.
And this is not a Louisiana hickory tree, but it's a hickory tree.
No.
Isn't it?
Green ash.
A green one?
Green ash.
I thought you showed hickory back over here. Hickory behind us, okay. Almost like a hickory tree. And this is where all the elk come in the wintertime, springtime. He's got apple trees, and there's a peach trees up ahead of us. It says on the apple trees, the elk get the low ones, the birds get the high ones, and he gets the ones in the middle. What kind of grass is this, Rick?
It's bluegrass and ryegrass mix.
Ryegrass and blue.
That's where
This is where the elk come and rub on the side of their trees when they're trying to get to the apples up here.
They rub on the trees to get rid of the velvet on
the velvet.
Horns.
So they try to rub off the velvet. And you can tell they're pretty good sized animals, how high up they rub. Looks like a miniature version of Augusta National Golf Course.
Or quinine water, seltzer water. Rick drinks that, the quinine.
Hello, Mama D.
Yeah. I tried that.
And of course, everybody lives on their own little lake here. And that's his workshop attached to the back of his house. Got several decks overlooking the lake. The lake is about 400 acres, right?
Yep. About a mile across.
And his property goes halfway out in the center of the lake. Of course, you see the ducks out there and geese. I'm sorry, these are geese here. But he gets enough wind, they can do sailing on the lake and that sort of thing. Periodically, they draw the water down really low because it's an irrigation lake and not an irrigation pond. And so they divert water off, I think, off the Thompson River coming down.
Yeah.
Or Thompson Creek, or whatever it's called.
Big
Thompson. And of course, Rick sits out here in his swing over here and watching the naked women paddle by.
Yeah.
That's what every old man does, I guess, in this part of the country. I don't know who's watching. Whoever's going to watch this is going to say, man, that's a cool place. Because it is. Of course, every guy's got a place in his yard for his junk. And the geese come up on his property and they tie ropes across. And the geese apparently don't like the rope rubbing against their chest, and so they don't try to hop over it. And even in Colorado, they do have gardens. And they also have 8-foot fence to keep the deer away. I don't think the elk, how much can the elk go cross over?
About 6 feet.
They can do 6 foot also?
You jump a 6-foot fence.
And of course, Diane and I need to do some of this paper stuff you put on the bottom so you don't have to pull the weeds. I think this paper got to be 5 years old because when we were up here 6 years ago, you had it, right? Have you changed it out since then?
Every year.
Oh, yeah, every year you change it out?
Yeah, you rototill it into the soil. It's
biodegradable.
biodegradable.
Oh, it's biodegradable.
Yeah, you put new on every year.
This is the right rear property going out to the lake. And of course, this is going up the left side of his property line. And Yvonne, look at his tomatoes. Of course, I don't know what my tomatoes, you probably picked them all by now. I hope they're picking them. I hope they're not going bad. And this is called Goose Feather Mound. Is that what it's called? Well, I don't understand how they get lined up like that, but pretty neat. Oh, the cottonwood.
Yeah, there's the cottonwood
This cottonwood tree. Look at that rascal. Okay, it kind of reminds me, well, you can see on the ground, it looks almost like pieces of cotton all over the place. It's got a cotton texture, obviously, why they call it cottonwood tree, but a place where he can pull his boat up between his garage and his workshop. It's amazing what a couple of people can do when they only work 8 hours a day out in the yard. And what's neat is they've trained these owls. Yvonne, they've trained these owls. And they come and they perch up there. And that keeps what away? What does it keep?
The woodpeckers.
Oh, it keeps the peckerwoods away, the woodpeckers. And now we've made a complete circle almost. When I get old, I'm gonna look back and say, man, when I was come up, that's how I used to keep my yard. Just like that. Now this is what I misspoke about a while ago. That is a hickory tree right there.
Yeah.
Not a Louisiana hickory tree, but a hickory tree nonetheless. And that concludes our tour.